I finally have it. It's mine now. I will be alone. Okay. Do you want to see? Let me make sure it's ready. Maybe some other time. Okay, this is the rant for Box of Goblins for Missed Anime Reviews. Box of Goblins. Yeah, I really did enjoy the anime Box of Goblins. It was, of course, I love my psychological mystery horror anime, so this anime really appealed to me. But something about it is that after I watched it the first time, it felt like watching it the second time and the third time in order to get the information for this review was a little bit of a chore. It's like you know when you end up watching a mystery TV show, or you end up watching a mystery, like anything mystery wise, like Sherlock Holmes or something, and it's always the negative appeal you might encounter when you're watching one of those shows, where you'll end up watching it the first time around, and then once you know the mystery or who done it, if there isn't enough action in order to keep you going along with the plot, if there isn't enough of a driving force in the show in order to keep you tethered to your seats, then the second time around it kind of loses appeal. That was one of the things that I found as an issue with Box of Goblins. I loved watching the first time. The second time I liked it too, but then the third time it waned a little bit. So I'd say that I really liked the series Box of Goblins for what it represented. It's definitely one of those shows that's unique, and the fact that you have this mystery and with these horror elements in it, and it really goes into the psychological trauma of the characters that a lot of shows don't do, and it does in a very artistic way. But at the same time, because there isn't a lot of action in the show, there isn't a lot of high cliff moments until the end of the show, like close to the end when you're getting to the climax. Because of that, the show eventually wanes a little bit in replay value. So that'll be my biggest thing with Box of Goblins. Is it's a great show to watch if you're looking for something original and mystery and horror, and that's something I really appreciate it. But I wish a little bit more went into the show that would have made me want to watch it more and more. Like, there's a lot of other series that that I've been able to continuously watch again and again, like Ghost in the Shell has a lot of mystery elements in it too. Let's see, what other shows are very mystery oriented? Yeah, you got your Ghost in the Shell. You also have, now I'm not Japanese, I can't pronounce this. You have that show called, starts with a D, Danganronpa or something, the animation. And that show was, the colors and everything made it, like, you can definitely tell you're watching like a show. It didn't have that drama appeal to it, but that anime was very, like, it had mystery in it, but it still had a lot of action and high octane moments in it where you could also watch it again and again. And then of course there's also When the Cicadas Cry. That definitely had a lot going on with it that would make it so that after you watch it first time, I mean, I can watch that show over and over and over again and still enjoy it. Box of Goblins, not so much. Okay, now with this anime, I was just talking about how, like, one of the worst things about this anime was its replay value. This is a video game or something, but I guess, let's face it, if you're watching a show, you want to know whether it's going to be a one-time thing you're going to watch and you're going to go, ah, this is great, or whether it's going, and then it's going to be like, ugh, or whether every time you watch it, you're going to be like, ah, this is great. So replay value on an anime is pretty important, and that's something that Box of Goblins, I think, kind of lacks. But after going on that, I'm going to go one of the greatest strengths of Box of Goblins 2, which is the characters, and which I spoke about inside my review video. And the characters, I freaking love them. I thought Kiba, he was a detective. Now I'm going to tell you right now, I don't remember all the characters' names, because I mean, the names don't stick in my head. I don't come from that culture, so the names aren't going to stick, but I remember some of them. And Kiba, I love how he was in the show. He was that hard-nosed detective that, even though he was like, you could say he was like the disgrace, like the disgrace, like warrior archetype, where he had did something that had messed up his career in the past, something that had caused him to be kind of a joke in the detective department. And they don't really go into what that was. From the way he acts, I have a feeling it could have had something to do with how when there's a case going on, he tends to really go all in. Maybe could have had something to do with that. But I don't remember them going into why the detective of the case was like so against Kiba in the show. It's like he had this attitude, disgust towards the man, and I don't think they revealed that. But in any case, something happened to Kiba that had hurt his reputation as a detective in the department, and he now saw this opportunity of trying to find out who was going after the girl that got pushed into the train tracks. And because she was also related to the movie actress, and that movie actress was someone he admired, because he really admired how she represented justice in her films, and how he really wanted to seek after that vision of justice, how he really wanted to go after that, even if he felt like he had to fall to the dark side to do it. I really admired his character, and them showing the growth of his character throughout, like what happened and him seeking justice. Kiba was a real strong character. Now the writer, I can't remember what his name was. I want to say it was Katsumi, but the writer was a character I could really associate with, someone that I really understood, because I also write myself. That's something I do. I write horror stories, and I have a novel that's been made. So I also enjoy my writing, and I also love writing about the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. That's neither here or there. So I really understood the writer and his dilemma about how, yeah, everyone was like, yeah, you're a really good writer, you can write really well, but now what are you going to do with what you've written? And they were getting on him about how he's going to arrange it, and a lot of people be looking at the show and they'd be like, man, you've taken the time and you've written these books, what you got to complain about? Why is the order of the books important? But small stuff like that to a writer is important, like how it's not only just creating the work, but how it's presented and how the public's going to perceive it is also something very important. And then there was the issue going on with his wife, and he had a deceased relative too. And from the things seemed like with the writer, the man really seemed like he was alone, and he was really grasping at something that he could relate to. And it's kind of sad that the thing he chose to relate to was the person who turned out to be the serial killer's books, and how he wanted that someone to be close to him, even if that someone was just a head in a box or something, even if that someone was just a little itty bitty box. But he was really looking for that thing that was missing in his life. And I can really understand those emotions with the writer, so I really connected with him. And then we have, of course, the priest. Man, of course, I said it, I couldn't even hide it. He was definitely a badass character. He was a number one character. It's like he went from such inactive energy, from just sitting in his bookstore. He was just sitting there, just contemplating, and figuring out the entire case all along. And I mean, the man was able to have like kinetic energy when he was sitting with his thoughts, and even when he got him, he was moving, he was taking action. It's like that's one of the things about this character is that even though the show puts up this like appearance of inaction with all the thinking and everything, the people that don't like mysteries or don't like looking at shows with a lot of thinking or don't like psychological stories, it looked like he was being inactive. But throughout the entire show, I saw him as nothing but a movement of activity. The man, his mind, it's either his mind was moving or his body was doing dynamic movement. To me, he was like the essence of the show. And then there was also Rojaro. He's a character. He wasn't my favorite character just because we didn't know that much about him. But I got a feeling if we knew that much about him, he would have been my favorite character. I guess to women, they would see him as being attractive. He had kind of like that look that you find in a shoujo anime or something. And then he also, the way he approached the case, he was always calm, he was always collective, and he always had this nice facade. Like he was always like cheery and he wasn't peppy, but he was always like cheery and carefree about everything. He was like sitting back like this, like yeah, oh, what was his name again? Oh yeah, I know, I remember him. Oh yeah, and we have to do this, do we have to do that? Okay, let's just go ahead and do it. He was that type of character where it seemed like I think the trope is Crouching Tiger hitting badass, where he seemed like he really didn't care about what was going on. And he seemed like he was kind of out of things, but then when it came time for him to prove himself or for him to do something, he did it, and he did it well, and he never became like emotionally like entangled like all the other characters were. Even the priest, even there were times where he got pissed and he got mad and he couldn't hide it. But it seemed like Rojaro, I guess that could come from his occupation of being a quote-unquote clairvoyant detective, where he had to put up that facade. He always had to like have an appearance like he was one thing, but he was something else. So it didn't seem like much in the series really bothered him, and he just kind of flowed with everything. And that's a character that I can really respect, not because I know anything about him, but because of the cool factor of that character. Just because he's always calm and collected and always like carefree and everything, and still kicking ass at the same time. And that also creates another big sin of the shows. You don't know anything about Rojaro. You even know something about those two girls, the two naive girls that unfortunately end up getting chopped up and end up getting killed and put in boxes. You even learn more about them, and they do have a tragic backstory. So, but still, why didn't we learn more about Rojaro? I would have loved to learn more about what drives that character and what drives his motivation, or a little bit into the darkness as to what makes him so apathetic. But other than that, the character cast in Box of Goblins, when you consider that it's a show that its prized possession is how well it dives into the psychological traumas of its characters, it did very well with that. Let's see, what is there to talk about with Box of Goblins? We have the wonderful characters, which I really loved. We also had the fact that the show may be great to watch first time around, but then second and third time around it starts to get dull because they need a bit more action in between all of the dialogue and all the figuring out the mystery of the show. So what is there else missing? Oh yeah, wouldn't it be fun to know that this series is actually based off of true facts? Kind of creepy, isn't it? Something else about Box of Goblins is that, and people, they love to applaud this in anime like, what was that time traveling anime called? What was it? It was... Oh yeah, Steins Gate. How the antagonist inside of Steins Gate was CERN, which we know that the CERN where the collider, the atom smasher exists, that is real, and that organization is real. And there was also some truth going on inside Box of Goblins too. Like, remember the Mouryou facility where the mad scientist character, can't remember his name, but the character who was given the project to create the perfect soldier, and he ends up being the one that the priest has to finally, he's the person in the end that planted the seed for all this to happen in the anime. I told you there'd be spoilers in this, but he's the one who planted the seed for everything that was going on in the anime. And he was working Mouryou facility, and the place where the Mouryou facility is a fictional place, but it was a subunit of Unit 731. And Unit 731, which did experimentation on Japanese citizens, on prisoners of war, and soldiers. That place actually existed. If you want to know about Unit 731, you are free to Google it. But I have to warn you though, be prepared for some pretty disturbing stuff, and make sure I wouldn't recommend you eat anything before you look it up. Yeah, some pretty disturbing stuff, and definitely worthy as the parent of a unit where a mad scientist wanting to create an immortal soldier was born. And then of course the priest, he also mentioned in the anime that he was part of during the World War II, he was part of a unit whose job it was in order to brainwash people in order to go into Shintoism. And that actually in the show I think they were kind of saying that happened before the war, and that actually happened too, where before World War II the Japanese were trying to promote ultranationalism by converting a large number of its citizens into a religion that was something that would unite, that they saw that would unite the citizens statewide, and that religion was of course Shintoism. So that was also based upon some truth too. Oh man, if only this anime had a dub, then it will be a lot more accessible to more people, because they wouldn't have to read everything at the bottom of the screen while it's going. I mean, I love reading as much as the next writer / manga / comic book enthusiast, but when you're trying to look at an anime on screen, you're trying to admire all the pretty colors and all the pretty animations and everything, and then you also have to look up and down at the screen or to read what's going on at the same time. Especially with an anime as dialogue heavy as this one, it kind of takes away from the appeal. So I'm really hoping that something will happen, some miracle will happen that will make this anime get dubbed or become dubbed, it will get licensed so it can get dubbed. But unfortunately, with this anime at the time of this recording being double its age, I really don't see that happening. But I hope maybe if enough people see videos, enough people that appreciate psychological horror anime and they appreciate what this show offers, where you have a show that is nothing but pure substance, where you have the mystery of what's going on, and you have the art, and you have art to go with it, to represent the psychology of the characters, what's going on with them psychologically. If people could appreciate an anime like this and what it represents to the anime community, then maybe a company will pick it up. Maybe it can get licensed, maybe it can get dubbed, and maybe Box of Goblins can get the recognition it deserves. Until then, you'll just have to settle for, well, not settle for, but you will have to go with When the Cicadas Cry, let's see, Shiki, something more mystery oriented. We got, I keep on missing Ghost in the Shell, Dagaraba, the animation. I know I'm not pronouncing that right. And Gosek. You'll have to go with anime like that until anime, I mean, it is something I have to state real quick though, is it seems like there's a lot of really good quality anime out there. Well, of course everyone knows this, every anime fan does, but there's a lot of really good quality anime that just doesn't get like licensed and doesn't get dubbed. So hopefully, I guess maybe I'll start this if I can get popular enough. Maybe I can make these anime like more well known to bring these anime to light, especially the mystery anime that no one has seemed to like picked up. Even going outside the mystery genre, I would love for something like The Spare Teacher, or for them to at least try to do something with the Shizu. I would love something for them to be dubbed, so I can sit down and I can just look at the screen and not have to keep on fluctuating my eyes up and down. And I also know a lot of anime fans also that do prefer the dub over the sub. I frankly don't care either way. A lot of people are the anime sub purists, where they say it has to be sub because it has to maintain the traditional Japanese language, and we must read it. And a sub is always better than a dub because they have better characterizations and they represent the voices better. And we don't want characters sound like a bunch of little boys and girls in our anime. And then you have the people that love the dub because, of course, they're like, well, I don't wanna have to read what's going on in it. I wanna be able to look at what's happening. I'm not in this for reading. I'm in it for watching. That's why I'm watching on TV. Duh. Well, I really don't care either way. What I want is for anime to reach. I would like for anime to reach the widest audience as possible, especially anime like this, which I believe that are very good, that are different, and that get looked over. Not only different, but also good different. There's a difference. You can be different, you can be bad, and you can be good, but you can still be like everything else. I'm talking about like something that rare quality I see in this show, where it's good, but at the same time it's something that is something different than what you'll usually find. And I want anime like this to be like revealed to the widest audience as possible. And how do you do that? You make people know about it, and by you building up that recognition, hopefully it will get recognized by someone with more power than I have, so that it will be subbed, like legit subs will be released for it, and so people can get it and everything legally. And then also it will get dubbed so that the people that don't enjoy reading, that want to watch it because they want to watch it, nothing wrong with that. The people that just want to watch the anime, they can just watch it and just listen to the dub. And I gotta admit that I do like it also with the dubs, how they sometimes change some of the lines for the sub in order to appeal to American audiences. So it's something that sometimes that doesn't quite work. I'm looking at you 4Kid subs, but 4Kid dubs, but often it does. Sometimes you get gems like, what's that anime? What's that show called? Like Is This a Zombie? Pure Gold, and also like the one, what's that called? The one, I can't remember the name of it now, but the one with the girl with the guitars that keeps on Fully Cooley. There you go. Fully Cooley. Congratulations for those who won that round. Fully Cooley. Anime like that, sometimes the dub gets done right, and that's what I want to hopefully see. And the only way you can see it is if you take a risk with it. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes my rant of Box of Goblins. If you like or if you didn't like anything that I stated here, you have any opinions to the positive or to the contrary, please post them down in the comments below. I really do want to hear what you have to say. So, if you like this video, please press that like button, and please press that subscribe button in order to get more of Mr. Anime Reviews. Thank you. Bye-bye. And no, I'm not going to teleport this time. This is a rant video, so I'm just going to say peace out. See ya.